Interstate 43. It is Wisconsin's only intrastate interstate, although 41 does come close. It is the most Milwaukee of interstates, as it goes right through the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I-43 starts in Beloit, right near the Illinois border, very near Rockford, goes diagonally up through Milwaukee, and then goes north along Lake Michigan as part of the Lake Michigan Circle Tour up to Green Bay, where it ends at I-41, which also ends at I-43. This is Control City Freak, the YouTube channel where we talk about interstate highways and the places that they're signed to go to. My name is Todd, and if you could subscribe, that would be awesome. Let's start by looking at Northbound I-43. I-43 starts at this intersection with I-39 and I-90 in Beloit, Wisconsin. Although this sign, the exit is for both Milwaukee and Beloit. That is because Wisconsin Highway 81 is going to loop to the west into Beloit, while I-43 is going to go northeast. Here's the first mileage sign that we see on I-43. Sensibly, Milwaukee is in the third line at 70 miles. Now, as we approach Milwaukee, we meet I-41 and 894, although 894 is wholly concurrent with I-41, as 43 and 41 join for a wrong-way concurrency toward the airport. Weird that there's no sign for Milwaukee on here, only airports, although I guess we might be within Milwaukee city limits, at least metro limits. I don't think we're in the city yet here, though. However, here we are within the Milwaukee city limits, but our control city is 4394 Milwaukee. Go figure. This continues once we're actually on the north-south 94 freeway, as 4394 are now, again, signed for Milwaukee. As we approach the Marquette Interchange, we get 43 North Green Bay, and 94 is going to split off to go to Madison to finally go east-west for the first time in 100 miles. Here is downtown Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee a lot. I've spent a lot of time in Milwaukee in my mid-early 20s. My cousin went to Marquette. It's a great town, very fun place to hang out. Here's another view of downtown Milwaukee as we continue through downtown Milwaukee, and we're signed north for Green Bay. Once out of town, Green Bay is going to be our primary control city throughout. We go through a series of secondary control cities. First, Port Washington. Later on, Sheboygan, one of my favorite city names to say. Sheboygan is now our secondary control city with Green Bay as the primary. After leaving Sheboygan, Manitowoc, I think that's how you say it, I might say that one wrong though, is now our secondary control city. After leaving Manitowoc, there really aren't very many big cities or cities of any size until we get to Green Bay. So now we get Francis Creek and Maribel, which are not far away from each other, yet are the next two cities on the sign. After passing through those, now we get Denmark, and that is going to be our last secondary control city before actually reaching Green Bay. Here, I find this to be a weird sign. So we have 43 North Marinette Sturgeon Bay. That makes sense because there's going to be a split with Highway 57, which goes into Door County to Sturgeon Bay, and US 41 will go to Marinette. But this A-Stripal Airport being the control city on this sign, why? Why is that? Much better control city here would be Lambeau Field, something that people would have actually heard of. I doubt too many people are coming from out of town to go to the Green Bay International Airport, but maybe I'm wrong. Near the end of I-43, we get this lovely bridge over the Fox River, and we get to see the Green Bay for which the city of Green Bay is named. And here is the end of I-43. We see the intersection with I-41 in the distance, 41 to Appleton, and US 41 continuing straight to Marinette. Now let's take a look at Southbound I-43. Southbound I-43, not surprising, gets a South Milwaukee sign. This is on I-41, so we get one of these cool looking gantries with the bricks, kind of the Lambeau Field style. But on I-43, we don't really get this same kind of flair. Here we are on that bridge again, crossing the Fox River, and a view of downtown Green Bay. Coming out of Green Bay, we get to Denmark again as a secondary control city. For some reason, Highway 147 actually is the secondary. Denmark is the first thing on the line, next exit, and then Milwaukee 105. I went ahead and skipped ahead to Milwaukee past those secondaries. So now 43 south, Beloit, Chicago. I don't know if Beloit belongs on the same sign as Chicago. I think it probably should be just Chicago, but I understand because 43 is not going to Chicago, it's going to Beloit. 94 is going to Chicago. Get a cool view of the courthouse here in Milwaukee right before we hit this interchange. And here is the gantry right before we get on this interchange. Look at those sharp angles on 94 West there. Here's a nice view of the Marquette campus, as this is the Marquette Interchange. This isn't actually from I-43 though. You can't see much from I-43 because of it being below grade. This is on a collector ramp heading toward I-43. After the Marquette Interchange, we get to the Airport Interchange, and we get 41 and 94 for Chicago, and 43 for Beloit. We don't get a direction on 43. We just have that west there, which only applies to 894, which is weird because, again, it's the least important road of the three. But then again, it is a wrong way concurrency, so otherwise they would have north and south on that sign. Now, 43 south heads for Beloit, heads in its diagonal direction away from the Milwaukee metro area. You get one more overhead, 43 south Beloit. Here's a mileage sign on the way to Beloit. The road is pretty boring though, so I just skipped ahead to the end. This will change. They are majorly reworking this interchange with I-90 and I-43. So before, they did not have signage for I-39 on this interchange. So they had this supplemental sign of Bloomington Normal, exit 1A. Here is where Wisconsin Highway 81 merges with I-90 and I-39, giving us the control cities of Rockford and Janesville. I hope on the rebuilt version of I-43 they don't use those same control cities. Those are both really close. They're both about 10 miles away. And on the old gantry, it was 90 West Madison, 90 East Chicago. But this is looking at Google Street View from maybe 2012, as it is currently under construction and there is no Google Street View available of the current interchange. Here is what the construction looks like right now though. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a closer look at that sign on Street View, but this is what they're doing. It looks like it's going to be a pretty substantial interchange once it's done. All right, let's take a look at Todd's The Way It Should Be for I-43. The way it should be, I actually go along just with the same thing that Wisconsin Department of Transportation, what WisDOT says here. North, Milwaukee, Green Bay, no brainer, well done. And south, Milwaukee, Beloit. I would be okay with Rockford south from Milwaukee because it's going in that general direction. Rockford's a little better known, a little bit bigger. But then again, Beloit is the in-state city, and it's where I-43 actually goes, since I-43 doesn't actually go to Rockford. So, like that, works for me. Thank you so much for watching Control City Freak. My name is Todd. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you. Thanks a lot, and keep on trucking.